Yes,
But
did.
ladies, he was nice looking. He was really nice looking. So when the enemy comes, he's not going to bring you somebody that's like, looking crazy. I mean, he came, I was like, just out of like a magazine. I'm like, where did he come from? Let your sister know that young man that brought you to church was married.
Wow. Man, and the thing, sisters, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If that man's not fired up about God, he's not gonna be fired up about you.
Ooh. Welcome back to Better Together with
Dennis
and Loni C. We are so happy to have you with us here in our living room.
Yep, you are welcome to say. So have a seat, take a relax, chill, and just eat some popcorn, chill, relax, because we're about to have a good episode.
Yes, we are so excited because we get to tell our love story of when Dennis met Loni.
And when Loni met Dennis.
Yes, this is our story in our dating process, how we had to manage through some good moments and not so good moments, but we were able to navigate through it and still date each other kingdom wise, and still keep being respectful to each other and having boundaries in our dating. So if you are single or you're engaged or you're looking to get married, this is for you.
Yeah, you want to look at this
tune
one.
in today. We're not saying that we are experts, but who can tell our story better than us? Only we can tell our story. We were there. So, speaking of that, you know that we're big champions for dating. So after marriage. So we recently just whisked away to Georgia and spent some time there.
Yeah.
And we had our little blessing with us too.
Yeah, she tagged along. We had a good time, man, and we had a fun time over in the ATL, and so
singing in the car and talking.
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
Reflecting and everything, because we have older kids as well, and so they're off doing their thing, working and doing stuff. But we had little mama with us, but we had a great time just to spending time with her as well and each other.
Right,
we get a chance to do that. Yes. But let's get to our story. I want to, I guess, ladies first, right?
Oh yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm trying to remember.
Take your time.
Okay. To be completely honest, we met each other in college.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so you jump in if I miss any dates, because he's really good with dates. I sometimes can get him a little mixed up. But to be honest, before even that part of it, before I met Dennis, I was scheduled to be married to another gentleman. That's what I was. I had the wedding dress. I had had everything but the ring, which is surprisingly. We were talking about marriage, and he was going to eventually propose officially, but I had the reception hall, put money down for that, and flowers were getting made and all these different things. And I remember during our later part of our dating process, while we were still dating and looking to get married and everything, I remember having a dream. And see, God will speak to me sometimes in dreams. And this one was so vivid that I saw everything I saw my future with this young man. Now, mind you, it's no bad talk against him or anything. He just wasn't for me. But he's married and has a beautiful family and everything. But I saw a dream of me at that time dragging him around. Like when I said dragging him around, I saw myself leading the household. And I knew that was something. I was like, I knew the proper order of a family, because although my parents, they got divorced later on in marriage, I did see a mother in the home, a father in the home, and I saw the proper line of what marriage looked like, from my perspective of being a child, the best way I knew how.
Right.
And so with that being said, I just knew in my dream, I was like, this is not how it's supposed to be. I knew I didn't want to be the one, okay, let's get up and go to church. Let's get up and do this. Let's go. I kept seeing myself saying that. Let's do this. And I woke up. And so I kept on. I was like, okay, I kept pushing and thinking that this was going to work. Later on, God, he gave me so many different red flags during this. I found out later on he was cheating on me. And I'm still trying to make this happen, make this work. No, it can't be true, and all these things. So I'm not gonna go into detail all the different reasons how I found out he was cheating on me.
Right.
And then later on, as I'm marching through this, I ended up we cut it off. No, we didn't cut it off. We were talking and everything, and I remember after I found out he broke up with me, I went back and I talked to God, and I talked to God. I was like, and God was like, you have to let this go. This is not healthy for you to go through with this, and you're not going to have a future of this revolving door of cheating. You're worth more than that. And that's for somebody. You don't have to take those things where somebody doesn't value you enough to respect you and honor you. And if they're showing these signs at the beginning, before you even get married, you need to pay attention to them. Don't ignore red flags.
Yeah.
Do not ignore signals of this person is not loyal to you. He's not faithful to you. And I sat there and I remember I felt like God was like clothing around me as I cried and as I wept, because I knew I had to do something that was embarrassing. It was to me, because I was like, I had the wedding dress, I had the reception hall, I had
huge.
all of these things. That's and now huge. I got to call it off and say, we're not getting married.
That's huge.
I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed. And I remember putting my wedding gown all the way in the back of the closet, because I was just like, I don't even want to talk about it right now. So I put it back in the back of the closet. And so I did go and tell the young man, I said, we can't do this anymore, broke it off. I didn't it would have been nice if I had just stopped and just said, okay, we're going to break it off.
Yeah.
I didn't. I kept allowing him into my life.
Right.
No matter what, I just kept allowing him into my life.
Right.
And so the reason why I'm going back to go forward is because I have to show how Dennis came into my life. And so what I did was I wouldn't let this guy go. So all of a sudden, this other guy comes into my life. I used to date. After I broke it off, I used to date, and I started going out with him. And I could not remember. This is how you could be in such a fog. I did not remember how we broke up. But ladies, he was nice looking. He was really nice looking. So when the enemy comes, he's not going to bring you somebody that's like, looking crazy. I mean, he came, I was like, just out of like a magazine. I'm like, where did he come from? I'm like, what? All of a sudden, out the blue, I met him at the mall. Let's rewind. I go fast forward. I go out with him. He invites me to church. So I'm thinking, oh, this is the man. Now, come on, ladies. Now, we looking like this is ideal. This guy's inviting me out to church. I go to church with him. I get there, and somehow a young lady, she was connected to my sister, and she reached out to me. By the time I get back home, she calls me up, my sister up on the phone, and she tells me, let your sister know that young man that brought you to church was married.
Wow.
I was like, and me, if anybody knows, I'm very demonstrative. I was like, oh my God, I committed a crime. I'm like a sin. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I never thought, I didn't even know. And she told me she was there that night. And she's so broken because he has slept with so many women in the church. And then here you come marching in. I was clueless. And I was like, so I broke that right off. But then she prophesied to me. And she told me, she said, I want to let you know something. There's an Ishmael that keeps coming back into your life, and you won't let him go. And I was like, an Ishmael? At the time, my ex was still trying to come around, and we were trying to still date. He was still trying to hook up and all these things. And I kind of was just like, oh, whatever. We go out on a date here and there. I'm still trying to, I should have let it go. I did not. I put a comma where I should have put a period.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. So she kept saying, she said, there's an Ishmael. But oh my goodness, you got to get that Ishmael out the way, because there's an Isaac. There is an Isaac that's trying to get there. And I'm sitting here like, I'm trying to think, okay, I'm thinking about the stories in the Bible. I'm like, okay, Ishmael, Isaac, what's what and everything. And Lord and behold, the Isaac is the promise. Yeah. He's the promise. And she kept saying, you know him. he is such a man of God. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is a prayer man. He is this. So of course I'm going through all my friends and stuff, not even thinking that Dennis was the one that she was talking about. And because I knew him in college and we were really cool and we were really good friends. And I knew him as a friend. I knew that he could come over and eat in my, come over to my dorm room and eat up all my food. Ladies who eat all my food just in my refrigerator.
Tear it up.
Constantly in my refrigerator.
Struggling college student, told that food.
He was, because I would always go home and go grocery shopping and he'd be like, what you get? What do we got? I had no idea. We were becoming friends.
Yes.
And he would come by my dorm room just to get some food and we'd talk and sit up and watch Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones.
But I'm going to let you tag in because I had to go back to go forward. So I met Dennis in college. So I'm going to let you go from here on when we...
Well, I'm going to go back. So,
okay.
So when I met my wife was actually singing on stage. She was actually singing Jennifer Holliday's "You're Gonna Love Me," and she had a
so prophetic.
She had a black move something dress on. So I told my boy at the time, I said, man, she is fine. I just said she's fine. And so and she was fine. And so I was just blown away. She just had the dress on. She had her long hair.
Oh.
And so I was just really enamored by her and but at the time, I'm like, well, I think this is my sophomore year when I met her. And so I literally asked my wife to come to I tried to throw some game out there and say, could you sing to me? Could you come sing for me? And my wife, she's so honest. She's like, yeah, I'll sing for you now. Now I'm thinking when she said that, it actually kind of called my bluff because I'm like, well, she gonna sing to me, really? So I kind of backed off. But then we just...
Did that frighten you or something?
It ain't gonna say frighten me, but it kind of like, dang, she gonna come sing to me in my dorm.
But he would always come. You would eat. We were always dorm.
So it was just it was just...
I called your bluff.
It was a line I threw out there, and she called it. And so I didn't think she was gonna say well, yeah, So I mean, it was just that. But we just the thing I loved about my wife is on campus she was always an example of godliness. You didn't hear anything negative about her or sleeping around on campus. She always exuded herself as a example of Christ, and I admire that. Whereas with me, I was kind of messing around and stuff out there, but she always...
But I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I mean, I was incognito. I was undercover.
Oh, you was...
You know what I'm saying? And so I was incognito with my stuff,
Okay.
It wasn't too bad. But I mean, we would see, then, we became, like you said, we became friends. We lived in a co-ed dorm at our college we went to. And so we would often, get together and like, we had meal plans for our food and we go get food. And my meal plan was ate up.
He eat up all his food.
I ate all my food. So I come to her room and eat up all her food. Give me some wings and some, I don't even like wings now, but wings and stuff like that. And so we just really became good friends. And so I was in a relationship. She was in a relationship at the time. And so after a while, we graduated from college, went our separate ways. And so and then, be honest with you, I got into a couple of bad relationships, one good, one bad, but then I wasn't really taking the things of God serious at that time. And so when we hooked up, and I just got out of a bad relationship, and I said, Lord, if you save me out of this relationship, Lord, I'm going hard for you. I'm going hard. And I went so hard for God, I became celibate. I said, I'm not having no more sex until I get married. And so, so when the wife came along, she was just in the parking lot. I remember talking to her, in the parking lot, and then I was like, she's single, and she's single. And she said, I'm single. I ain't seen, So I was like, oh, it's my opportunity. So, but when I did pursue her at the time, I was really focused on God. Single person, this is for you. So I took my attention off my focusing on a girlfriend, focusing on getting married. I focused on God, and so in that time I wasn't really taking marriage serious. I was more so focusing on God, the God in me to really get close to Him, to really grow, to grow in my relationship with Him. And so when I did that, I actually just consecrated myself and really just said, no, I'm not talking to any females on the phone. I really just took it serious because I got tired of messing around out here and just doing wrong, and so when my wife came, when I started pursuing my wife, God was speaking to her too about her life.
Yes.
About what she was doing and what she needed to do. And so God was taking two single people that was destined to be together. He was cleaning, he was cleansing us and making us right. So I'm just here to tell you that let God go through the process of making you to right before you meet your mate, because you don't want to meet that mate out of his time, and you don't want to force anything. And so I didn't. It hurt to not be in a relationship at that time, but I had a relationship with God first, and I took it serious. And so after a while, she was, I was trying to pursue her, and she stood me up for dates.
He will say this over and over
and I'm gonna
again.
keep saying it. She stood me up for dates.
How many, babe? How many?
She stood me up for 2 dates. She stood me up for 1 date, and she turned me down for 2. But at the time, but at the time, I was not being obedient because God told me to consecrate myself. He said, "I don't want you talking to a female." So I didn't get favor with my wife, because the Bible says a man who finds a good wife finds a good thing. He obtains favor from the Lord. I didn't get favor with it because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do with staying single. And allowing God to get to grow me up in some areas. And so had I taken a wife at that time, it would have been bad because I wasn't mature enough to take on a wife. And so as I pursued my wife, God started speaking to her about me. Matter of fact, I got a Bible that I wrote and I gave to her.
I still have that Bible.
26 years ago. It's a Bible. I stood in line all the way out the door to let her know how much I love her. And so how much I wanted to get with her, and then and I gave her the Bible, and so we still have it.
What did you put inside the Bible?
This Bible is for Lonnie, and it
hopes to be
it hopes to be your future question mark. And so I put that in. That was back in '90. That was October 10th, '99 when I did that. And so when I pursued her, God spoke to her and told her she needed to go on a 2-week fast and get away from me for a moment.
Can I say something on that one?
Go ahead.
With that, when you said that both of us God was working and cleaning us both up at the same time, it was so funny because, like you said, you didn't obtain favor with me at that time, but it was just, I knew that I was like, I had made a declaration. I had said the next guy that I date, I'm marrying. I'm not dating around. I just knew, I was like, I'd rather just stay single for right now. But I just made I wasn't even really that strong and much in my faith as I thought as I am now.
Right.
But I knew, I was like, I'm not going to be that one that I'm breaking up and dating and breaking up. When I got done with it, after I finished crying and getting up off the floor with my ex, and then that situation that happened, I was open. I was like, I was doing the same thing, consecrating myself before God. And I said, the next guy that comes in my life, I'm going to marry him. He's going to be one. He's going to want to marry me in that sense. So,
And so the thing is, consecration is very key. So consecration simply means you're setting yourself and you're dedicating your life and your body to the Lord. Yeah. And so for a man to say, I'm not giving up sex and I'm being celibate, that's huge. And so I wanted to allow God to save myself for my wife, because because the previous relationship I was in, I did not see that person as my wife. If you don't see a person as your wife, you don't see that person as your spouse. You don't see that person as the mother or the father of your children. You stay away from that person, because if you can't see them as parenting your children. Yeah. Then you need to pay attention to the red flags, the yellow flags, because you can be forcing something that can be detrimental for both of you.
Definitely.
And so we get so in a rush of trying to put out that fire. I mean, I know the Bible says that it's better to burn, it's better to marry than to burn. But you'll be flaming out before you get out the altar. And you don't want that to happen in your marriage, because marriage is creating oneness with somebody. So we wanted to, so when I was going through my process of being single, I went to single events. I connected with other singles, and I made a point.
Likewise.
I made a point to stay, to really enjoy my single life. Because once you say I do, that's a whole nother level. but you should be growing in your singleness. You should be growing in who you are in Christ. You should be growing in who you are in Christ, and He's going to show you who you are. So when I did start pursuing my wife, after 2 weeks, He spoke to her and told her I was her husband.
Yes.
And so we took it from there. And so with that being said, when we started dating, I'm not gonna tell you we did it perfect. We had we had some close calls,
Man,
y'all.
when they say flee,
We fled. We fled.
run like
We fled. We fled. We fled. I mean, I ran out of apartments. You know what I'm saying? It was just
it's real.
It's real.
It's
you know what I'm
real.
saying? And we had some close calls, but we said we basically said we're not gonna give up on this. We're gonna keep pursuing this to the glory of God. And we prayed together a lot.
Yeah.
We got in the Word a lot. We went to church together a lot. And she was my focal point as to, she was my focal point because I was like, I really want to love this woman. And at one time, I'm gonna say this, just being transparent. At one time, when I was pursuing my wife, I actually started getting frustrated. Like, man, I'm pursuing her. And at the time, like I said, I was being disobedient. But when I was pursuing my wife, I was like, Lord, I don't know if I want to do this because she don't know what she want. I think at one time my wife was saying she don't know what she want because she was dealing with the hurt of being married.
Yeah.
You got to realize
not being married, being engaged.
Being engaged.
Right.
So she almost got engaged. She was engaged, almost got married to a dude. And the thing is, she bought the dress, put down on the hall. Do you know how hard it is to say no? It's hard, and I commend her on that. And so, so when that happened, I wanted her to make sure that I was the one. So she was she got a little scared. She was scared. She was scared to get in a relationship with me. So I just told her, I said, I'm not here to play games. If you want to make this right, or you want to continue to pursue this, then let's make it happen.
Yeah.
But if you're not, we can move on. And so,
and I was wrestling with that, baby. Also, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I wanted to piggyback on that. Good. My sister had gotten married. My younger sister had gotten married.
Right.
I was dealing with a lot of shame. Like, oh my goodness. Even my grandmother, rest in peace, grandma.
Yeah.
I told her, I'm graduating from college and all this stuff. And my sister got married and she was like, you just gonna turn out to be an old maid. And I don't think she meant any harm by it, but I was the oldest daughter. Wow. And so she felt like you should have gotten married first. And that's the way I took it. Yeah. I love her. I mean, that's nothing, but it stung. So I was dealing with a lot of things. And after you've made that mistake before, you're not so quick to be like, I'm gonna jump into another relationship. Because remember I said, the next guy that I marry, next guy that I date, I'm going to marry. So I wanted to interject that say that was why I was dealing with a lot of, just wrestling with, this is embarrassing. I've already done this already. I put the wedding dress so far in the closet so I couldn't see it. And it was just like pushing it further and further away because it was a shame. Because people were asking me, I thought you was getting married and da-da-da-da. And I felt I was embarrassed.
Yeah. But and I commend you for standing up to saying, I'm gonna follow God. I mean, just in the midst of all that emotion to get married and not want to be by yourself and to please man, you said no and went the opposite way. Yeah. So that's huge, and so I commend that greatly.
I'm so happy I made that choice.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. And so I mean, to be pressured into marriage because Pookie and Ray Ray said, or your girlfriend said you get married, or your age, based on your age, your biological clock, God can redeem your years.
Yes, He can.
And so I know people that got married at 40, 45, 40, 50 years old because they waited and they did it God's way. Yeah. So I'm just saying, when you wait on what God has for you, His timing, it'll be the best thing, since sliced bread.
Yeah, and allow God to write your love story.
Like God, allow write your life story. So as I pursued my wife, we the dating things we had in place, we created boundaries. We did group dating. We spent a lot of time together, but I tried to leave her house at a suitable time. Yeah. And so what we started doing in that process, since I knew she was the one, I started getting in the mindset that she's going to be my wife. because after we said, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we got that settled.
we start getting the mode like she was gonna be my wife. That's how I started getting the mode. It wasn't no games anymore because I started being with her like she was my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I started telling people, hey, she's gonna be my wife. And so because if she was the one, flat out, that's just how it was. And so I started cutting things off. I started cutting off bad relationships. I started cutting off certain individuals. I started really trimming the fat. I started setting boundaries against other individuals, but also we started, getting them in the oneness mindset. A lot of times, what we do when you're engaged with somebody or when you're dating somebody, we were dating to marry. It wasn't like we were dating to test the market or test the water. We were dating, and I didn't want to waste her time, and I didn't want her wasting my time.
Right.
But at the same time, we knew this is my girlfriend, and I'm going to pursue her. So I did introduce her to mama. She introduced me to her family, and so her family's a little difficult.
There was a little difficult. They love them now, but
they love me now. It was pushback with her family. My mom fell in love with her. The prior young ladies that I did try to connect to, my mom was like, "No, they ain't the ones." Maybe just one at the time, but that didn't work out. But then my wife, she absolutely adores my wife. And my mother.
And I love your mama.
Yeah, I love your mama. So my mom and her friend Linda Owens really pinpoint said this is that Lonnie was the one for me. And so everybody loved my wife. So I started pursuing my wife and really taking it serious. And so around 2000, December 9, 2000, I proposed to my wife in the middle of a restaurant. I had two of our good friends in there that actually helped us coordinate everything, and I proposed to her at a restaurant called J. Alexander's in Michigan.
Yeah,
I proposed to her there in the middle of the restaurant, y'all.
And I didn't even have my nails done. Yeah. I don't know what I was totally clueless. Yeah. The only thing when I look back on it, you were a lot. I sensed that you were nervous. That's the only thing I could see. He was a little bit jittery with stuff. And I'm like, why is he acting like this? We're just going out. And it was nothing different or anything. But the night before, I don't know why I was just cutting my nails, like trimming them down. So my nails looked all stubby. And I was like, but when he proposed to me, I was like, I was totally like, I was thrown off. I knew it was coming eventually, but I don't know why I just didn't pick up on it that night. But it was a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, it was a good surprise because I actually bought the ring. I got actually got my suit out the cleaners, y'all. I got one of my best friends. I told him about it. He told his wife about it, and they came out and
regular dinner.
Regular dinner. And then as he actually had the ring. So he took the ring and then I said something to my wife. I can't remember, but then he took it out of his jacket, and then as he's passing to me, my wife looking at the ring like this.
I think you said something like, "If I had a ring," or something.
If I had a ring,
I would propose to you tonight. I remember that.
Yeah, you do. I did say that. I did say that. I proposed to you tonight, and then I
was like, "Oh, baby, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We."
Yep. And I proposed to her that night, December 9, 2000. We because we started dating y'all in November 99. We got engaged December 2000, and then after that we got ready for our engagement. And so during our engagement process, again, we start having a oneness mindset because we knew we was getting married at this point.
Absent of sex.
Absent of sex.
Yeah, we weren't having sex.
Again, we didn't kiss. Nor did we have sex at all during our date process.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like
it was hard.
We had to really, boundaries. It was a lot of, especially after you get engaged.
Yeah, because you about to spend your life with this person. You like the body started like, man, come on.
We was like, come.
But we did. I want to give a shout out to a couple out there.
Yes,
they poured into us greatly those during that time, and they poured into us the first 10 years of our marriage. Shout out to the Dunhams out there.
Yes, we love
we love you guys. And so when we were dating, we had that couple to pour into us, and they brought us into another whole other area, another realm of other married couples and we hung out with them on vacations and did those things, not on vacations, not vacations that happened after the fact.
After
we were married, we hung out with them. But when we were engaged, we went out to dinner with them. They just
Yeah,
gave
they
us a lot
poured into a lot of
a lot of
wisdom.
wisdom they gave us when we were engaged. And so when we were engaged,
And we recommend that if you're a young couple, or even if you're even a mature couple, have another couple that's pouring into you. That is
yeah,
so
yeah,
important. And not just any couple. You want to definitely have a couple
a
that
godly
where you
couple.
see you want to go.
Yeah,
You know, I think that helps a lot. If
right.
they're, you know, we have a couple that pours into us that have they have children that's, you know, they're empty nesters, because that we know we'll be eventually getting to that point. So we have a couple that does that and they pour into us. So
Yeah.
you gotta always have a somewhere where you're going, you know, and that aspect. So I think that helped so much, because we saw them when we met them. I have to say this: when we met them, they had already been married for how many years by that time?
They were married 15 years at the time.
At the time, and I could tell you right now to this date, it looked like they were skipping when I saw them holding hands in the parking lot.
Never seen nothing like that.
I've never seen anything like that. Nobody can tell me that they weren't skipping. Nobody can tell me that they weren't skipping.
Yep.
And so they were in there, and I was like, that's what I want. Whatever they have right there, we want to hang with them.
And it was no fronting. They were just at the time. I think now they've been married. I think they've been married now. I think they've been married now, 39 years now?
Almost 40,
yeah. 40 years. But at the time, they were married for 15 years.
So 15 years in, and you still, and they're out of the newlywed, you know.
Yeah, so they were just like,
I thought they were newlyweds.
I thought they were newlyweds too.
I was like, I want that. We saw them in the parking lot, so we got to meet them.
Yeah.
And that's how we all, in fact, we wanted to make sure we had somebody.
Yep. So shout out to y'all, Dunham. Y'all blessing. So when we seen that, we were like, man, we want that to be us at that time. And so, long story short, the wife and I got engaged December 2000, then we got married September 2001. Matter of fact, September 22nd, 2001. 11 days after 911.
Yep.
So it's amazing.
A lot had happened.
A lot happened. So before that, what's so funny is we had a double rainbow the day before.
Yeah.
Before we seen a double rainbow the day before we got married.
Yeah.
And it was just signs that we were supposed to get married. It's a double rainbow. So God just aligned us to get together and get connected. And so the thing is, we want to stress to you and continue to talk to you about and tell you is that in our authentic process of getting to know each other, our focal point was Jesus.
Yeah.
He was our focal point. But on top of that, we was focused on this first, and then the horizontal was connected. And so we want to tell you that as a single person, and you're looking for a mate, it can be done God's way. Yeah. Don't compromise from that. It might not look like ours. We know people who've met through dating apps. We know people who met online. But the process is still the same. Get to know people before you get with them. Bring them around other people, bring them around other godly people you trust.
Right.
So they may see something. They may see something that you don't see
because you so in love.
Yeah. So that's what we did. We brought each other. We held ourselves accountable to other people that might have seen things, and then we went through
went through premarital counseling.
Get premarital counseling, please.
Oh, it was magnificent.
Please get premarital counseling. Shout out to Mr. Pastor Robert Martin.
Martin. Yep.
Robert Martin. He know who he is. You know, one of the pastors on staff at our old church gave us an excellent premarital counseling.
Oh my goodness.
Please get premarital counseling. I can't say it enough. Please get premarital counseling. I mean, man, my wife got premarital counseling. We talked about finances. We talked about sex. We talked children. In-laws.
I mean,
everything.
Your roles, everything.
Yep. Yeah. And so we seen that we had a nice little process on, you know, and I seen her response and she seen mine.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when seeing that, you get to see that person's response. You want to see their answer, their how they answer questions, and you want to see how I respond and things of that nature. But we went through the process of getting to know each other during that time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
because sometimes when I think with the premarital counseling, it did help because we talked about certain things about. Have you ever seen your fiance angry? How do they handle anger?
How they handle pressure.
And handle pressure. You know, are they going to be, I've already said this before, are they going to be upside your head? Are they silent? Do they shut down? What, you know, that way you can talk through those things and not be, I think the whole thing is like what you mentioned, getting to know that person and not being so rushed about the day, about all because you have so much going on, especially the bride has a lot going on with the dress and the bridesmaid and the flowers and the everything, the intricate parts. But sometimes we put to the back, the forefront of to the back of everything is the marriage. And that's the most important thing, is making sure that that is nurtured, that is watered, that makes sure that it's producing what you want it to do, and that it's not just about that day. Because I think sometimes we get so wrapped up on the day, but what happens day one of marriage after everybody's gone, the dress is hung up,
Right.
the flowers are dying, or whatever the case is? Is your marriage going to be rooted on the foundation of the Word of God, or is it going to be rooted on all this fluff and what's going on social media, what's trending and all this stuff and the hype and hashtags? It does, after all of that's done and the makeup's off and, you know, the tux is hung, do you have a solid marriage to work with from that point on? That's what it is. Do you like the person that you married, you know, and are you willing to grow with this person? I think that's the biggest thing to make sure, because we get so wrapped up in the day, and our marriage needs to be.
Yeah, marriage needs to be tight. And so I'm gonna go back to what my wife did. Do you realize what she said? She had a dream about that she had to drag her husband to church. Man, and the thing, sisters, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If that man's not fired up about God, he's not gonna be fired up about you.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is this. The thing is, he's supposed to represent Jesus, just like Jesus loved the church, and he washes you with the word of God, right? The water of the word of God. That man of God need to wash you and lead you and lead and guide you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So if you have a difficult time, you know, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about being single. If you have a difficult time, you're dating somebody who has a difficult time going to church, that's a red flag, because that man, the man of God you married, the man, you being a woman of God, and that person is not, you got to compromise, you got to talk, you got to say this stuff, you got to push him to go to church
or get in his word, have a relationship.
Have a relationship with, I'm sorry.
Relationship. I think that's what you're leaning on.
Let me correct myself. Not necessarily church, but you got to push this man to get in the word. You got to push him to read the scriptures, because the thing is, you know, with a man of God, just like he reads the Bible is going to read him. And so if the Bible's reading him, then he's going to grow into the image of Jesus Christ. And being grown into the image of Jesus Christ, he's going to lead like Jesus leads. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to lead you just like Jesus would lead you, just like Jesus would lead you. He's going to lead you the same way, because the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 11:3, this is a marriage scripture. It says the head of the woman is the man, the head of man is Christ, the head of Christ is God. That's the alignment that you want to follow. So if that man has an alignment mentality to follow God like that, then he's gonna be good. But if you gotta make him read his Bible, you gotta tell him about that man should know his role, especially when you're single. You should be growing and learning about your role as a wife or as a husband. So when you get married, you know what to do. I ain't saying you should be perfect in it, but have an idea what a husband role is. And then when you all get the counseling, premarital counseling, whatever, then what happens is you're bringing two worlds together some kind of way to understand each other. Now, I will say this. I'm gonna go like this. In certain situations, when you're older, getting married, like 50, and you're single, getting married, the thing is, it's a certain maturity that you all have to understand your role, and you can grow in that, and growing a relationship with God together. But I highly recommend getting some kind of premarital counseling or some accountability around you, so you can grow into your role as husband and wife.
Definitely.
You know, one day.
Yeah, definitely. And that's really good, babe. It's just you really broke that down about that. And I think about even for as a young lady, preparing yourself for your future spouse, you know, starting to get even more, that having that vertical connection with God is so imperative, to have that first and foremost. And also enjoy your singleness. My God, just enjoy your singleness. It's not a death sentence. Being single is a blessing.
So true.
Take advantage of
So true.
enjoying life. Travel. Do the things. Don't be so engulfed on, I want to get married. I want to get married, that you can't even enjoy the moment, this time that God has set for you in your singleness, for you to learn and to grow. There are things that he wants to develop in you, because sometimes it may just be selfishness. It may be certain things that he's working out of you. Maybe it's certain things that you're walking through that you're supposed to learn. But if you're so concerned about, I want to be over here, where you at right now, God? What I inquire of you right now, God, what is it that you want me to learn in this season I'm in? Because trust me, when you get to the next season, you're going to need what you learned in that previous season.
Right. That's good.
So that's my point on it. You're ready to get married and you desire to get married. Know that you're valuable enough, that what I took from it before, with the gentleman before, is that I'm valued enough that I don't have to take being disrespected, all these different things. I can walk into a relationship, and be my whole self, you be your whole self, and we can grow together. If that makes any sense. I don't have to feel devalued, or you don't have to devalue a man as well. None of that has to go on. You don't have to do that. Women, we don't have to try to be boss women, boss ladies, and all this, and try to disregard men like we don't need them. No, we need each other. And so let's be loving to each other, respectful, and don't waste anybody's time. If you want to be, if you desire to get married, communicate with that person. Like we said, starting off, Dennis was very clear to me. Hey, if you don't want to do this, let's not waste each other's time. Don't waste people's lives and their time.
Yes.
And you waste 5 or 6 years and then you decide, I don't really want to marry you. You should know when you get with a person whether or not you want to spend the rest of your life with that person. If you don't, just be completely honest with that person. That's the woman and the man. Don't waste anybody's time. It's not fair. And if they're supposed to be with somebody else, let them have that other person. And likewise, you with somebody else. But let's be respectful of people's time in a relationship.
And that's the thing that's the thing we wanted to, the thing that when we were dating, we had the mentality, of taking things serious. And so I told my wife I was serious about it, but we didn't want to be in each other's way. If she's meant to be with somebody else, that's fine. But I wasn't playing the games, y'all.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing games. We weren't playing games. We were serious about this, and like I said, we developed a oneness when we found that we were one for each other, and this is the one. Because straight up, you will know. And let me say something here. It shouldn't take you. It shouldn't take you 4 or 5 years of engagement to realize that this person's the one. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a long engagement. That's just me. It shouldn't have to be a long engagement. I understand if it's long distance relationship and y'all don't see each other. I get that part of it. But if you're dealing with a person in the same town and y'all together and y'all get together, it shouldn't be a long engagement, because that, in my opinion, if the person's been engaged to you for 4 or 5 years, they don't plan to marry you. They don't have the desire to marry you. That's just my heart behind that. And so, but that's the thing. So once you know that y'all are supposed to be together, it's not going to take long. It took me and it's just me personally. It took but maybe a couple months to know, 3 months to know this is my wife, and I had to grow and nurture that and say, you know what. Let me make sure this is not it's not me talking. I want God to be talking. I want it to be me talking. I want God to be talking and saying, this is your wife. And so the more and more I spend time with my wife, the more and more I pray for her, the more and more I didn't touch her or do anything with her, the more I said, God, I've had more of a witness in my heart, like this is my wife.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. So when we got together, we got engaged. When we got together, girlfriend, boyfriend, I said, I'm focusing all my energy, my energy. God first, but I'm focusing my energy on this young lady in terms of spending time with her and getting to know her, because I know she's my wife. It became investment time. It became an investment. Like, I'm investing my time in this because I know she's my wife. I know in my heart that she's my wife. And so when I started doing that, things start coming out of that. We start connecting. And then next thing you know, God said, marry her this date, do that. And it came together very, very well. So,
I was thinking about Operation Lanika.
Oh,
when you were saying I was focused.
Yeah.
You was like, I'm calling you Operation Lanika because that's what you were focused.
Yeah, it's Operation Lanika.
That's my name, Lanika. But
it's Operation Lanika. And so when I started pursuing her, that God said, "This is it." And He challenged me when I was in the world. I was used to getting with young ladies and and messing around and stuff like that. And then so when it came to her, couldn't do that. Had to stay focused and keep it holy. God said, you said in the world you got easy pleasures, but this is an eternal blessing. You know, why does it have to be like that? Focus on the eternal. Focus, and the eternal is with the eternal is permanent blessings forevermore. And so that's the thing we wanted to exude to you is, you know, if you're single and you're looking for and you're believing God for a spouse, don't give up. He will send you your spouse in due time. But what he wants to do a work in you.
Yes.
He did a work in me. He did a work in Lonnie. He did a work in both of us. So then at the right time, you can get together. You know what I'm saying? His time is the best time. And then don't limit him to how things should be done. Your process might not be like ours. We know people that got married through dating apps online. We got, you know what I'm saying? We know people
after 2 or 3 months.
After 2 or 3 months they got married. We know people who got married who connected through, you know, mutual friends and things of that nature. And you know, it can be done God's way, but you got to listen out to what God's telling you both or telling you all. But like the wife said, if you're single, enjoy your single time. Enjoy it. Because next thing, before you know it, God is seeing your mate. You gotta remember when Ruth was
I was gonna think about Ruth.
when Ruth was with Naomi, and they were on the threshing floor. Boaz recognized her because why? She was working. She was focused. She was working and doing something different. She wasn't even thinking about Boaz.
She was probably out there sweating and everything.
She's helping Naomi. So put that attention
was.
towards serving somebody else, being a blessing. And I'm telling you, us as men of God, we watching you. I was watching her the whole time. She knew I was watching her. I seen her in college, always respected her, but then I started seeing her serve, and I started seeing her, and I was like, man, you know, that's. And I never said that she was my wife, you know, before that. But when I seen her in an environment where she was in a church situation or just doing something for God, then I started saying, man, dang, man, I can see her as my wife. I can see. I want to pursue that. And so it's because she seen me watching her, but she didn't know I was watching her. Because it was at one point my wife was like, you know, I just want to be friends. I said, I got enough friends.
She said, I got enough friends.
I got enough friends. But that was the pursuit, y'all. Yeah. That was the pursuit. So she's like, I got enough friends. I don't need no friends.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you was like, I have enough friends.
I got enough friends, and so.
But I was trying to take it slow. I was like, I was still healing. So I was like, let's just be friends. And I'm glad we did start off as friends, and we're still friends.
Yeah, we're still friends.
That helped. It kind of slows it down. You don't have to get into the romantic part because you're slowing it down. And let's get to know each other.
Right.
Let's talk. When you have your tongue down somebody's throat, you can't even, I'm just being honest.
Emotions all over the place.
Emotions everywhere. It was like, but I wanted to get to know him. And dating is actually collecting data. So you're collecting data about that person. So, and I enjoyed our conversations. Like I said, we're telling how long ago we were dating. Jenny Jones was on the air. You would come over and watch that. He was in my refrigerator, but we were talking. And getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So,
wow.
So yes, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
And we're still dating to this day.
Yeah.
She's my best friend, and I'm still pursuing her. Just like the day I met her, we 3 kids into this, and 24 years later, 25 years next year, and God is always, he's still pointing to me how to bless my wife, and it's because that foundation is how that foundation was set, and how that we build on that thing over and over again. So it's an honor to be married to you.
It's an honor to be married to you. I'm so glad I'm so glad we allow God to write our love story. Is it perfect? No. It's not perfect, but it's our love story, and it's the way we could tell it. Saying Dennis met Lonnie, and how Lonnie met Dennis. So we're so happy that you were able to just tune in today and us telling our story about our love story, and just that you continue to, if you're in a relationship, let God write your story. And then you'll be able to tell your kids your love story, or just tell others about how God brought you together, even through the thick, the thins, the highs and the lows. We've moved. We've done so many different things. But allowing God to write your love story, it makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference.
It does.
And when you do it that way, it's nothing you can't do.
Nothing you can't do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for tuning in with Us with Dennis and Loni C. This, I'm sorry, I just blew that whole end. I'm sorry.
We're better together with
Dennis, we messed it
better
up.
together with Dennis and Loni C.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much for tuning in with
Dennis
and Loni C. You go and be blessed.
Love you guys.
Your marriage touches everything: your peace, your purpose, your future.
What if one day could align it all?
Join us October 11th for the R4 Marriage Gathering, a sacred space to reconnect, heal, and grow with God at the center.
You're better together. Let us help you become that you together that God created, unified, and ordained. Do what only you together were created to do.